Hello everyone, Snipe Trading here. Today is Tuesday, April 13th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So today is a red day recap, and I overtraded a bit today compared to yesterday, where I just traded 2. Today I traded too many. So I'll go over kind of my thought process and SPY. The overall market has been pretty bullish and green, and I guess it gives a lot of opportunity for stocks to be up. And you can see the tickers that I trade today were that I have my biggest losses were above $20 in ticker price, and the one that I made money is generally less than $20. So a little bit of lesson learned, and I would have to probably filter my scans to look at just stocks below 20 for the time being, just to avoid overtrading, and looking at stocks that are just moving, because there was a lot of percent gainers that are like above $20. It went into my scans there due to the bullish overall market. So let's get started here. I have a lot to go over, and give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get to it here. So VTVT was the I guess a low cap moving stock for today, and it trailed pretty well considering it was holding the 15-minute all the way. And so the first signal I got here was this inverted cup and handle that was forming above the 1 minute 90 EMA. I took that short. I went ahead and kind of downsized a little bit, and then attacked the short again, and then covered on these when it was trying to get tested on the 5 minute 90 EMA there. And then I went ahead and just kind of took it off. It was a potential nice trail there on the 15-minute trend, but I didn't hold it through. So there's multiple spots that I took here. I think another position that I took around this area, inverted cup and handle, took short, and then took it off on that 15-minute 90 EMA test. Again here, and then I took a small loss, a few losses within this window, and then I re-attacked short on this 5-minute break when it was like it had a pretty weak high of day break. So I broke high of day here, and it looked pretty weak, so I went ahead and looked for an inverted cup and handle here, took that short, covered most of it when it was kind of stalling around here. It ended up not giving any big bounce for a reshort, but it did bounce to the 1 minute trend and trailed that way. But I was hoping for a bounce maybe towards the 365 area where the first breakdown was, to reshort. That was VTVT for a $411 win. Next trade is APHA. So APHA was just a quick small trade here. I took a short scalp here. This is a inverted cup and handle. Took that short, trailed to the 5-minute 90 EMA, and took it off there and had a little small bounce. So that's APHA. It also had a short sell restriction, so it was a little tricky to enter. Next trade is BTU. So BTU was a 5-minute reversal. You can see there's a inverted cup and handle here forming. Took that short, and then just covered the rest when it was testing the 5-minute 15-minute trend. I think what I've been seeing is I've been covering on the first leg, and then there's a potential re-add there, so I might have to try that in my next few trades. So that was a $125 win on there at BTU. PLTR was an after hour trade, just a few scalps here and there. I was short bias after hours, looking for a retest on this 15-minute trend on this bear flag. I took a loss here, and then I got it back here, and then a little bit more there. So I was down like $100 after hours here, and then I gained it back and an extra $30 on top of that. And it was just a quick little scalp for this trend line break. It didn't exactly did a full test on the 15-minute trend, but I took it off there. Next trade was Tesla TSLA. So this was just a small little trade. I didn't have exactly what I want. I only got one share, so that was going to be a really cup and handle for retest. I ended up popping down and then just popped back up. I only had one share. I was trying to get filled like 50 shares, but I just took it off because I didn't get my shares filled there. Next trade was NCTY. So NCTY was also a short, and it was a loss. I think I could had some covers here, but it just bounced off this breakdown level and kind of just consolidated. So I just took it off for break even for a $1 loss there. And NCTY, PLBY was my next trade. So PLBY, so this had a inverted cup and handle here, had a breakdown with these three candles, like kind of wicky. So I went ahead and took it off for a small loss there, $19. I was expecting a retest of this and going back down to below 38, where the 5-minute 90-minute is, but it held trend. And if you notice the pattern today, it's stocks that are up, that are over $20 that I'm losing the most. So my strategies has a sweet spot, and it is only with high volume, small caps. This one, LGHL, had a potential inverted cup and handle here. I took a short, expecting this 233 to break to a retest on the 15-minute chart. I end up holding and getting stop out here at 325 for a small loss of $20, $19 there. Next trade is RILY. So RILY, this was also extended on the 15-minute chart. You can see the 15 minutes here, the 5 minutes up here. So it's looking for a retest. But like I mentioned, a lot of these stocks that are high price, above $20, doesn't work too well. So I need to learn to avoid these when the market is up a lot. But here I was looking at this inverted cup and handle, and then here it needed to break, but it ended up breaking out. So I stopped out there for a loss of $73 on RILY. Next trade was Riot for a $156 loss. So this was also a short. It had a few attempts here. I think this was like a high day break, and then I went ahead and looked for a short. It had some wicks, a few tests under, and it held. So I just stopped out for a $156 loss there. Also expecting a 5-minute to test there, but it didn't work out. Next trade was IHRT. So IHRT also was a attempted short, extend on the 1-minute chart, expecting a test on the 5-minute trend. Also didn't work out. I think this stock was also low liquidity, and you can see there's not a lot of volume, and I stopped out right above this high here for a $186 loss. Next trade was RBLX. So took a loss here. There was a trendline break. Took a loss here, took a trend break. I covered 200 shares. This was a decent win, and then it kind of wiped back up pretty quickly, and I took a loss there. And then I think eventually it did another kind of trend line break this way, inverted cup and handle, and this would have been the move. But yeah, it squeezed me out there after it broke down. Pretty much tested the 15-minute, but I was expecting a farther wash down. But that was a $189 loss on RBLX. And then my last trade, which was my biggest loser of the day, was MFNC. So in the morning, I was kind of watching this, and the way it's traded, you can see like it's kind of, you know, big volume, big bars. It was kind of like manipulative and kind of weird trading, and I should have avoided this from the start. Should have known better. But there was this kind of trend line that kind of got me attractive. As you can see, or initially there was I think this trend line, and it broke momentarily a few spots here, and you can see there's a few wicks here on this red candle right here. So I went ahead and attacked it short. It broke down on the downside, and then it kind of squeezed me out there for a pretty big loss. It eventually kind of held onto that VWAP and this 2060 as support, and then got a flag here and kind of push higher. But yeah, this little push here squeezed me out for a $318 loss. My biggest loser. So yeah, thanks for, you know, being patient and watching all the way through for the end of day. It's a pretty long list. Traded 15 stocks today. Normally I trade 10 or less, but a little bit overtraded, and I need to optimize my scans a little bit to just filter the stocks that are below $20. So I avoid trading things that are up 10%, but then there are way, you know, large cap or mid cap. All right, so thanks again for sticking around, and hope you enjoy my thought process, and hopefully I can also improve from this and avoid red days like these. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.